Sorry, once again. Cheap parlor tricks to get fancy on this. Let's see. Oh dear. It's ferociously dark in here. It's nearly impossible to discern anything secret, but there seemed to be, oopsies, a candle. Light it. Oh, stop! Once again, fire is like the bane of the graphical capabilities of this game. Another mask. Most of the books scattered in the same room about occultism and culture, even their titles were disturbing. Ellipses. Oh no. Okay, that's just the ladder. No, I guess we're gonna do lots of reading in this one. Yeah, I'm ready. April 5th, 1963. Christopher, these may probably be my last notes in this regard. I'm afraid Catherine has already realized what I've been doing here all the time. Ellipses. In vain, I've tried to explain myself and know what might have been the outcome had I kept insisting. If you'd only believe me, Christopher, ellipses, because I know you intend well, but I can feel the doubt in your heart. But your rational thoughts aside for a moment and yield to the facts. If I can do this, someone who was constantly taught in the wonders of science ever since his childhood, then so can you! I'm hoping that you contemplate the possibility of some truth in my assessments once you read my latest findings. It is imperative that you can carry on with this task. Catherine has watched my every step, and I'm afraid she'll take strong measures if I do anything out of the way. Did you know? She's been talking to other doctors besides you, and psychiatrists! Ellipses, missed that. My God, Christopher, I fear that she's going to shut me up in a madhouse. How is it possible that all of you won't believe me? As if what happened with my own son wasn't proof enough. In my adjacent knowledge, you will find an exhaustive essay on the origin of the curse and what should be done to eliminate it. I know the whole idea must sound crazy, but you have to trust me. The tribe has been doing this for centuries. Are you going to forfeit all that knowledge and experience? They feared a God, Christopher, and lived to tell it. Oh no, they faced the God. Now it's our turn to live and tell the story. And Christopher, if we fail to move the curse and anything happens to me, I want you to do it. And I have to complete my mental faculties whilst I'm asking you this. It's become more and more dangerous lately, ellipses. Do not hesitate. There is simply no other way, and you'll be the only one left who can do it. Promise me. Promise you will. I know I'm asking you to become a cold-hearted murderer, ellipses. But Christopher, our lives, and possibly many others, are at stake. Isn't that enough to forget your vow, James? Well, he's officially gone mental. Ooh, more journal time. March 26th, the folklore of the Dahalmar is just as disturbing as their vicious attacks. If my research has been correct, then I could have stumbled upon one of the most ancient tribes ever known to humanity. Dating back to where the so-called Bushmen inhabited South Africa. We're talking over 20,000 years ago. How can any civilization man decide all this time they were hunting or expanding? Just being there, I don't dare imagine what 200 centuries of inbreeding and cannibalism can do to people. I've seen them, and they can't be called humans. But it's more unsettling is their mystical background and possibly considered religion due to its complete lack of basic rules of maturity. The only simple premise is to keep an evil entity at bay, which has been stalking them since the beginning of time, or the Dark Ages. At this point in my research, I had to stop and consider the implications. Dr. Halmer actually thought of their later period, the systematic slaughter of mankind, as good times or golden ages. I thank the Lord that this tribe never managed to grow, as I seriously think the region, maybe even the entire continent, would have suffered terrible consequences. This history is so ancient it makes me feel dizzy, ellipses. The vengeful God, which is instantly referred to as Dalholm, control the Dahalmar via its many incarnations. Most of the time it would be a tall, feline-like figure, always dwelling in the shadows. I just got a text. It's ridiculous. Feline characters and slaying any villagers who would unwillingly come close. Some say its deadly claws not only penetrate your body, but your soul. The purpose of the harassment is unclear. It would look as if the Dawn were simply toys to play with. Yeah. It seems that the Dawn managed to free themselves. Clutch of that woman. Amulet. or a charm which effectively forced the entity to retreat. The most curious thing is how this amulet was conceived. Two main amulets were required to perform the exercise of this evil, and they be strictly related to each other. One representing the victim, and the other representing the victimizer. To achieve this, something related to each one was used. While I'm not sure what is referred to as the victim, I think we can conclude that anything belonging to any villager would have served, given that they're all victims. As for something representing the victimizer, that may have been more complicated. What could possibly be related to God? This God in question? Next, these elements have been mixed with a rare medicinal plant native to the region, which apparently had the properties to blend both items together as long as they were not too solid. Finally, a branch of a particular tree, whose name escapes me now, had to be used as the whole of the blended items. Okay, so that's why we had the branch of the tree. It is in this item that a serious blessing was performed. It should be noted that all elements had to be organic. The Dahalmar successfully released themselves from the control of the vicious god with intentional thought that seems to be taken days to perform. In the end, the element was so powerful that they surrendered to their will and offered divine powers in exchange for sacrifices. But the Dahalmar wouldn't allow to be fooled. Word sentence. So they getting rid of this evil once for all would be the wisest thing to do. So they managed to capture the spirit and store it someplace where they could dark for ages come. My God, ellipses. The evil spirit was cast in a mass, trapped inside the confines of its blessed wood for eternity. A mass which its description bears and can image too. Ellipses. Who am I fooling? It is the mass. It is that mass. The Dahalmar. We keep the spirit at bay by regular rituals involving the bloody sacrifices and the aforementioned amulet. This book I read to me about the Almar, or only two small paragraphs, is amusing bonus reading in a book led by the museum, has revealed me something that left me completely paralyzed with terror. I've always wondered since being studying what made the Dahalmar savagely slaughter neighbor tribes without any apparent reason. Was it a violent wrong scene? Did they feel threatened anyway? Was it by a perverse, ungodly sense of joy? No. Ellipses, it was fear. Fear that someone else would take the master and release the god. They killed to protect themselves from falling again into the Dark Ages. If they went to 62 lights to avoid this, then what did they have to endure when the entity was free? Rituals haven't performed the mass for years now. What have I done? Ellipses. What have I done? Ellipses. I was shocked learning about this evil ellipses. Terrible as it was, I still wondered to what extent it in Blackwood went to get rid of the curse. What is that? Right. The hell is that? The hell? France was very odd looking, right? Oh, that was a mountain of reading. Ridiculous amounts of reading. Shane Thomas is the most mysterious. Give me the shivers. Much as I love books, I don't dare open these. Oh, that was like 8 minutes of solid reading. Yeah. Is there anything else? Means I can't pick that up. Seems to be the extent of this place. So it's time to Vamus, I suppose. I'm gonna call Jerry up and rub this all in his face. That's weird sounding. God, I hate when the audio of this game cuts out. It's so just creepy. It's suspense-filled. I think I'll cut this video a bit short, just because I don't want to have to cut off the telephone conversation again. Alright. If we can't actually call Jerry, this is going to be a bit embarrassing, but whatever.